Affairs don't begin in the bedroom. They begin in childhood. In the part of you that decided she needed to bury her truth just to be loved. The part that's now screaming to be seen. I'm Alex Croxford, and this is the Deeper Love podcast, where we name the shame, face the guilt, and help you find your way back to yourself. So let's begin. Okay, so we're going here today. And even though I know this could be very uncomfortable for some of you, it's also the episode that I needed years ago when I was carrying my own secret and every day pretending I was still fine. And I really want to talk to the thing that no one else sees. There is the version of you that is smiling on the outside, that's pretending that you're okay, but inside feels like you are carrying the heaviest weight, almost something poisonous inside of your body. And if you know, you know. That thing that you've buried, perhaps it's the truth about the affair, perhaps it's something that happened a long time before that, or perhaps it's something that you don't feel like you can be honest about even with yourself. And I really understand that myself, because it is one of the hardest things to not only admit to someone that you love that you have hurt them, but also to admit to yourself that you are able to do that. I work with women who have had affairs, who have betrayed someone they love, and I can tell you now that the one thing that stops them from healing, it's not what they did, it's actually the performance that they keep up afterwards. The pretending, the hiding, the masking, the smiling, the I'm cool, I've got this energy. And I get it because I lived there for 2 years. And after my infidelity, I didn't spiral outside, on the outside. I didn't fall apart. In fact, I did the complete opposite. I got better. I got into fix mode. I started to work out more. I got thinner. I got more impressive at work. I also just started to become an even better wife as much as I could, more accommodating. I said yes to having an enormous house extension done at the same time as going through IVF because my husband wanted to. And I didn't want to say no because I knew deep down what I had done. And so I thought I had to just continue to abandon myself even more to make up for the fact that I was carrying this deep and dark secret whilst we were going through fertility treatment. I was trying to prove that I was the best wife, that I'm still good, that I'm still perfect. And on the outside, he wouldn't have known any different. But I was hiding. I was hiding from the part of myself that actually did it. And that part I wanted to push away. I wanted to ignore. I wanted to pretend it didn't exist. The part of me that felt really lonely in my relationship, the part of me that felt really disconnected, I wanted to push those away too. I did not want to admit that they were there. I just wanted to hide them, bury them, swallow them, forget about them. And I always made myself feel better because I never told a lie, right? Technically, he never asked me if I cheated, so I never told him. But I wasn't telling the whole truth either. I was, in fact, hiding a majority of the truth. But here's what happens when you do that. Your nervous system stays frozen. It's not necessarily shut down, but it's in protection mode, in don't rock the boat mode. So in order to stay in that, you overfunction, you make sure you say all the right things, you try to be even more impressive, look even better. You want people to really believe that you are okay. But on the inside, there is this experience of numbness or anxiety. I didn't actually know it was anxiety until I started to work with my coach. I just thought I had this pain in my chest and I didn't know what it was. But all of these things, on top of the fact that you're probably going to just not be fully here. You're not fully present. I certainly wasn't fully present in my marriage or with my friends because of the untruth that I was telling and the protective mode that my central nervous system went into. So let's get really honest. What is it that you are still hiding? Not only from your partner, but what are you hiding from yourself? What's the thing that you haven't said out loud? What's the thing that you still judge yourself for? The thing that makes you think, if anyone finds out, everything will fall apart. Because that's the part that needs to be felt. And until you get really honest with yourself, you cannot heal. You cannot heal what you're still hiding. You can talk about it. You can journal about it. You can try and make it sound neat and digestible. But if you're still trying to put it into this neat package, and I'm not even talking about for somebody else, I'm talking about for yourself. If you're still curating it, if you're still keeping parts of it locked away, even if you're trying to forget, your body knows and your nervous system knows. And I see this all the time in my clients. They say they want to heal, but what they really want, or what they think they want, is to be seen in a certain way. They want to be seen as the one that's healed, or the one that is strong, or that someone who made a mistake and they've learned from it. But healing doesn't happen through performing what you think other people want to see. In fact, it's the direct opposite. Healing happens when you stop performing. And look, I'm not saying you need to spill all the beans on Instagram like I have. I'm not even saying you need to tell your partner every single thing or out yourself to your mum and dad or your nearest and dearest. But the only person right now that you need to stop lying to, first and foremost, before anything else, okay? Before anything else, is yourself. Because you need to let the part of you who made the decision, who went outside of the relationship to speak. Because she will have something to say. And that's not about having to explain yourself. She just needs space to share what's true, what's really true. And that is actually the work that we do in my softening sessions. And that's why it's so powerful. Because the part of you that did that doesn't get judged. She gets heard, she gets felt, she comes back into the room. And when she's in the room, you can finally stop hiding. And that's when your nervous system stops living in fear. And that's when you stop overcorrecting and start actually changing. So if this is landing and there's a part of you that's like, fuck, she's talking about me, then come to the next softening session. We're not doing surface level healing here. We're meeting the part of you that is still scared to be seen. The part believes she doesn't deserve love because of what she did. And you don't need more willpower. You don't need to be more perfect. You need a space to stop pretending. And you need a space to feel what is hidden. Because your body's not broken. You are not too far gone. You are just tired from carrying all the things that you've never said out loud. And it's time to put them down. So come join me. That's what we will do together. The link is in the show notes. You're not too late. You're not too broken. You're right on time. Thank you for listening to the Deeper Love podcast. If today's episode spoke to you, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you're ready to go deeper, you'll find all the ways to work with me in the show notes. Until next time.